My name is D'Angelo Lilly, and I'm doing my project on technology and children. In my childhood, we only had dial-up computers, flip phone cell phones, and only high school seniors and adults can use these devices. Today, most people have mobile devices such as cell phones, laptops, and tablets, and children as young as 2 are able to use these devices and are using them more than ever before. Children mainly use these devices to play games through apps, watch television through streaming devices such as Netflix, YouTube, or Hulu, and go on social media such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Parents use these devices as a way to pacify or regulate the behavior of their children, and children are using these devices more because they perform more functions and they're more affordable to the average consumer than in the past. More and more children using the internet, there's an increased amount of security concerns for them. The first considered security concern has to do with child predators. The problem with child predators is that they can talk to children anonymously through internet chat rooms under everyone's nose. These predators can be talking to your children for days, weeks, or months on end, pretending to be the same age as them in order to gain their trust and then lure them into meeting the children face to face in order to kidnap them. The other security concern has to do with cybersecurity. If children are not careful, they can run into these websites that have Trojan horses that send out malicious software that attempts to steal your information, such as your credit card information or your bank information. Now, a couple of ways to solve this problem is to talk to your children. Talk to your children about the dangers of the internet, what sites there are and are not allowed to go to. Also, another way to solve this problem is to create another account for your children, and put it in protected mode. So if they do run into these websites are not getting to your information; they're getting to blank data. These mobile devices have both ethical and social impacts that I think we need to look at before we try to fully integrate these into children's lives. The first impact that it can have is cyberbullying. This form of bullying is done by virtue of the internet. It can be anonymous, and it can be done through social media, text, chat rooms, and website. The biggest problem is that it's very hard for authority figures to stop because no one knows who's doing it. This can create long-term health issues with your children, such as depression. It also could make them feel like they want to not go to class, which can impact their grades, and also just ultimately drop out of school. Also, another problem with this is that because they're anonymous, it increases the amount of cyberbullying that goes on because there's just a reduced chance that someone get caught. And so since they feel like they won't get caught, they'll continue to do it. Another issue that we need to look at is the economic gap between the three classes. Depending on how these devices are used, it could be used to shorten or create an even wider gap between the wealthy, middle class, and poor through the digital divide, where only a select people, the wealthy, have the ability to afford both high-speed connection and high quality technology at home to do these assignments that are assigned by teachers for homework. It appears that the use of these mobile devices, such as like tablets, will be used more and more in the classroom as education technology becomes a bigger enterprise. These devices will be used to help children solve current issues as well as future issues. The integration will be aided by the Connect Ed, an initiative started by the President of the United States that was implemented in order to eliminate the digital divide that exists between the school children from a wealthy background and school children from a middle class or poor background by giving them access to next generation broadband by 2018.